This is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. Set in the Sonoran Desert and surrounded by the majestic McDowell Mountains, we're at the stadium course at TPC Scottsdale in Arizona. Hello again and welcome. Rich Slaughter alongside Frank Nobilo, set to bring you all the action for today's event. Frank, when you think about the TPC Scottsdale, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
The golf course has been radically changed in 2014, but it still hasn't lost its luster. Really, it's just been updated like the game itself for these young, strong players of the modern era.
We're here at the par 4 first, and Frank, what's the best play?
Off the championship tee, it's going to take a big drive to carry that bunker, so you're going to have to be a little right of it or perhaps short. But just over 400 yards, a rather modest length par 4, and certainly a great chance to get off with a birdie.
This could be really good, Frank.
Oh, straight at it.
It's nice to roll in a 25-footer now and then. Those feel good. But still, there's nothing like hitting that perfect tee ball. Long and straight.
Yeah, you can puff out your chest, last to play, the advantage, holes shorter. Basically, the list goes on.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Superb shot.
Well, it's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. 1 under early in the round. Teed up here at the par 4 second. Frank, what do players need to look out for off the tee?
This hole has been lengthened in 2014, some 30-plus yards. Bunkering down the right has also changed.
And that's going to stay on the fairway here at the second hole. Ready for his second shot, trying to knock it on the green. Frank, why are great rivalries so important? Why do we love them?
I think because people like to sit on one side of the fence. You're either for or against a great player. And I think we see that today with Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy. There's the McIlroy fans that think his future is so bright. There's the Woods fans that still want him to pass Jack Nicklaus's record. That's the beauty. You've got to have an opinion, and you have to have a player.
So, Frank, just from the fringe, what's the best way to hit this shot?
The best players with chip. This is going to be risky, though. I don't know if he's got the skill.
Solid play, heart of the green.
It's at sneaky distance.
Frank, I thought that was in.
Oh, that even caught me by surprise, Rich. I thought par was in the bag.
This now for bogey. Getting set now over the putt. And so just getting started, even par so far.
Congratulations.
Now the third hole, it's a par 5, and how does this one set up, Frank?
It's a nice yardage around that 550, 560 yard mark. So a good drive, you can certainly reach the par 5 and 2. You've got to flash it across a little bit of a desert there. This green has been completely changed in 2014, and the addition of one bunker to that right side. Used to be 2. Long and straight.
That's how you do it.
Stop.
He has given this one the full treatment. Fairway over 300 yards.
Good angle.
Second shot.
Green, but get further back than we want it to be. 247 to the hole. 239 to the front of the green. It's level. Let's try it at about 240.
And a chance for eagle after that perfectly played shot. Huge chance to climb the leaderboard. A putt for eagle. Wow, what a putt. That is huge. Here now at the par 3 fourth. Frank, what's the setup here?
Plays a little downhill, so it won't play its full 180 yards. Perhaps take one club off the decision off the tee. The green, as you can see now, is a little wider than what it was deep. The bunkering, though, is certainly excellent there. A little pop bunker on the right side, one there if you come up a little short, and there's another one on the left side should you pull your tee shot.
So again, let's try and just split that difference there a little bit.
That's a good shot right there, about 15 feet away, and a good look at birdie. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Almost. Wow. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
Has it, and he's 2 under par.
We'll take the par, I guess, right?
Well, Frank, now at the 5th hole, the par 4, the challenge stiffens just a bit.
Yeah, the longest par 4, obviously in the start of this golf course, around the 470-yard mark. 2 bunkers down the right have been changed to 1, but it's in the perfect position now. Of course, that new tee added to add a little bit of length to this hole. The green still remains relatively similar to what it used to be.
Those are good numbers right there. 320, 320 yards. Just crushed it in the fairway. Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here.
38 is a foot down.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Good, clean contact and a nice result. And a chance for birdie coming up.
Really This is an awkward length.
Didn't quite have the break on that medium length putt right there. For par. Nice par to remain at 2 under.
We're doing good getting the par.
Now to the par 4-6. Decision time, Frank. Driver, or do you go with 3-wood?
A lot of that's going to depend on if there's any breeze. If the breeze is at your back, you can drive it all the way down the right side and take those 2 bunkers down the right completely out of play. This hole's been stiffened up, though. The length hasn't increased, but that bunkering in that choke point. So the strategy, do you have the length to get past them? Or if you have to lay up, it's going to leave a much longer second shot.
Up with the big boys now, Frank.
Well, we saw that previous tee shot go 310. This one's further.
This from 110 yards away.
109,
Frank, this is just a pleasure to watch. A player hitting on all cylinders at the top of his game.
Notice it's just flowing too. There's not a lot of deep analysis going through his mind. Just one step in front of the other. If your swing's there, you don't have to find it. If your putting stroke's there, you don't have to find it. Just let it happen.
Well, that is a ball striking clinic right there. Another dazzling approach shot. Pretty close. Settles in over the putt. Well, that was a good looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
That's 2 under par, playing well.
And we set up a par, man.
Frank, where's the difficulty here on the 7th hole, the par 3 of more than 200 yards?
Well, Rich, front hole locations are always probably the toughest here because that's the narrowest part of the green. Bunkering really hasn't changed, and the green still does widen up, but the hole tends to play slightly uphill. This is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Into the thick stuff. That's a difficult lie. Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. How do you like that?
Yeah.
He's holding. Just a phenomenal play right
Beautiful.
there. This is a good hole, Frank, the par 4-8.
Yet another dogleg left, Rich, on the front side. And it's a sharper dogleg now because they've put in 2 bunkers down the left side. It used to be a bailout area for the players in the past. You can't do that anymore. And I doubt anybody can fly it over that left one. It's nearly 330 yards to carry that in the air. Those 2 bunkers have forced the players to go out to the right, making that second shot a little bit longer now.
We just want to avoid that bunker on the left.
Errant tee shot here, Rich, but going to have to muscle this one out of the rough.
Just in the first cut of rough. Not a bad lie. The only issue is he might get a jumper here. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
That's still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
Setting up for another approach, our featured golfer has continued that excellent play from earlier in the round.
Indeed, there's no better feeling in the world than when you know you're firing on all cylinders. Hitting fairways, second shot's just going straight at the flag. Right now, everything is working.
Well, this is how you build a good round, Frank. You just keep hitting greens.
Looking at another bogey here, dang it.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Oh, dude,
Thank
that.
God that was straight. At least we're flying the platform.
Rounding out the front nine with a par 4 of 453 yards from the back tee. Looks to be straight away here, Frank. Anything to be cautious about on this tee shot?
Well, that bunker, there used to be two bunkers down the right side. There is now one, and it also pinches into the fairway, which almost makes this hole look like a faint dogleg right. But really, the best line is still down the left side, so it still actually suits a draw off the tee. Green is slightly elevated and not very deep, too. So judging that second shot, getting the right club is essential here at 9.
That ball's run out certainly over 300 yards, Frank. Call it about 310. So a good lie right in the fairway and only 135 yards away.
135, and it's up 2 feet. 29 in the front of the green.
Should be safely on deck.
Just a beautiful approach shot. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Drops another birdie and moves to 4 under on the day. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
Man,
That's
what
right.
a
Now's
bogey,
not the time
damn
to pat yourself on the
Might be
back.
-5 for the front 9. Okay.
That one is bunker bound, it looks like. Oh, a bit unfortunate. Wasn't able to avoid the sand trap. And the tee shot ends up in the bunker.
A little bit. It goes straight.
105 yards left.
Welcome to golf. 103. It's up 4 feet. It's 96 to
Frank, one of the great moments in tournament history here in Scottsdale. You go back to 1996, the sudden death playoff between Phil Mickelson and Justin Leonard. Mickelson has always been the hero out here because he went to Arizona State.
Yeah, and it still runs through his veins, Rich. There was such an important win for him because to do it in front of people that he considered his home crowd was huge. And then also to do it in a playoff where obviously it's win or lose. So for Mickelson, 1996 and TPC Scottsdale certainly ring home.
And getting ready for the putt. Nicely holed. 4th birdie of the day. Moving on to the 11th hole, Frank, water all along the left side, 472 yards. How do you handle this one?
Well, this one's weird because the tees are a little off center. They start down the right side, which makes it into a dogleg. And you mentioned the water. It always comes into play. And there are 0 fairway bunkers. You don't need them here at 11 because really it's all about the tee shot. Find the fairway, then even though it's a long par 4, you should be able to at least attack that green safely. Miss the fairway to the right, which is the barrel outside, and your problems are just starting.
Frank, that is position A.
Yeah, the tee shot was like silk, Rich. I mean, just sets up that second shot so beautifully.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Fairly level shot.
should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. And it makes the green in regulation. Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
Wow, I thought he made that. Very well done. Almost made it.
It actually wasn't too
Yeah,
bad.
there'll be no stress for the next one.
Definitely overcompensated on the break there, but
Just an
If you get this
amazing
far,
display. The records continue to
we
fall.
lost it.
Well, Frank, this is kind of the forgotten par 3 on the back 9 here at TPC Scottsdale. All of that attention on hole number 16. What do you think of the par 3 12?
This is by far tougher, Rich. Downhill tee shot, especially off that back tee. Bunkering down the left, sort of it catches your eye, but it also takes your eye off the water, which is behind and to the right of this green. Got to be careful. This is a real sleeper, this par 3.
See if it bounces its way up to the hole.
Early part of this back 9 and a good approach shot. Now we'll have this for birdie.
It's that sneaky distance.
Filling it up today. Beautiful putt. Par 5 13. Frank, what kind of scoring opportunity is this?
Well, anytime you get on a par 5, obviously birdies and eagles come to mind. 13's been changed a little bit over the years. The split fairway's gone. Now it's just one fairway. Water in play, bunker on the left side. They certainly define this fairway. And they've toughened up the front and left side of this par 5 green. The longer hitter, the high ball hitter, still will get a reward at 13. I'm loving that balance.
Be a little disappointed with that because it lands in the rough and it appears to be fairly thick over there.
Plus, we have to shoot over that damn tree now.
Ends up in the first cut, and he'll have a pretty good look at the whole location from here.
So 190 is going to put us a little bit shy of that bunker there, but I doubt it's going to go over this bush.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough. What does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing. There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it.
Rich, too much grass between ball and club face.
Paid a price with the tee ball landing in the rough. So getting set for a greenside bunker shot. Frank, when I think of the great bunker players in the history of the sport, I think about Gary Player, Seve Ballesteros, whom you knew so well. What did they do that made them so effective on these greenside bunker shots?
They had an attitude for a start that was different. For them, it was, they saw possibilities. And they would imagine the amount of sand. Remember, because this is the only shot in golf where you don't have to hit the ball first. So they would really choose the amount of sand behind the ball, whether that was an inch or two. Aim the club at that and made sure they followed through.
Frank, that reminds you of maybe what, the greatest bunker player of all time?
If we can get far up, again, we have a
Locked in on the read and the speed.
It's pretty straightforward. Let's back us up just a touch, because 3 inches down in the middle too fast.
Well, you can see it there. Feels very good about what he's doing.
Another
That's a nice
blown
par
opportunity.
putt. Stays at 6 under. Par 4 14th, and Frank, this hole packs a little punch, doesn't it?
Yeah, the addition of just a little bit more yardage, plus the bunker on the left has been pushed out into the fairway. actually makes the whole play a little bit longer than its 490 yards. Second shot is a little bit uphill. No longer is there a bunker on the right side. That side of the green is actually open. But you don't really want to be trying to miss that green on the right. Should you decide to go at the flag, well, you're going to have to carry that front bunker.
Just a little offline, so now, Frank, he's going to have to deal with a rough.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how strong he is.
Shot now from the rough. Frank, what's he facing?
Well, the lie first and foremost. If it's sitting down, then obviously you're not going to get a very good contact. Nothing wrong with coming up a little bit short of the green. Problem is turning one mistake into another.
Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. Frank, you always talk about it not compounding the error, but here again, another shot from the rough.
Yeah, if you try again.
How about that shot? From that lie to get it that close, tremendous effort. Now a 7-footer. Good effort and good par putt. Now at the par 5 15th, and Frank, there is plenty to catch your eye. There's also quite a bit to catch your ear. You can hear the roars at the par 3 16th. So how do you focus on the task at hand?
Great question, Rich. You know, you realize you're about to enter the stadium part of the golf course, but this is the last par 5 that you're going to play. We've seen eagles here over the years. We've seen many a player hit it in the water off the tee or water short of the green. Certainly one of the tougher tee shots coming in. No bunkers here to worry about, just that huge lake to the left. Find the fairway. You might just find the green. Second shot.
246 is up a foot. Shoot for 240.
Oh, this is heading in the wrong direction.
Uh-oh. Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. Frank, not close, but from that line, not bad.
Oh, that's excellent. Seriously, given the conditions, Rich.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Beautiful stroke right there. Finds the bottom of the cup with ease. Now to the 16th hole, and Frank, what makes this so special is the walk underneath the grandstands. It's the gladiator coming into the Coliseum.
That's a perfect description, Rich, and that's why this hole is unlike any other hole on the PGA Tour. The atmosphere that the players feel on that tee, they cannot prepare for, they can't experience anywhere else. This is a once-in-a-lifetime par 3.
And when you look at it from up high with the blimp view, it sort of appears as though they've dropped Fenway Park or Wrigley Field right into the desert. And this is a sellout crowd. I mean, this is 20,000 fans, and there's nothing like it. There's not a single hole in golf that has more fans on it than the 16th here at TPC Scottsdale.
Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
That is an excellent play right there. The approach, giving him another good look. Not a gimme, but well within his range. of the run. 2 straight birdies. Frank, 16 was fun. 17 is always exciting here at TPC Scottsdale.
You've got to be careful because that water that sort of goes around the left side of the green, if that ball's coming in with a little bit of hook, it's just going to keep going left. There's the one bunker you really have to focus on. That's the one in the middle of the fairway. 280 will carry that. Chances are the ball can run onto the green. It takes a brave man really to try and fly this ball all the way there. It's not really needed because there's always another 10 or 15 yards of run. Factor that in. What a great shot.
Easy mode, of course.
Up with the
We can
big
always
boys
drive
now,
the
Frank.
green.
Well, we saw that previous tee shot go 310. This one's
Guaranteed
further.
the minimum of a birdie here, but
Chance to
That's
set
not
himself
too
up
bad.
for a good
I'm
scoring
serious, we're not
opportunity
doing
with
that.
his second shot here.
okay, so let's drop this to about 7.
That'll leave him with a good birdie opportunity, only about 10 feet away. That's a good shot. Frank, this would be huge.
Oh, it's got that strut going, everything. This is when that hole starts to look a little bit bigger. You really feel like you can start to make everything. That's the cruelest thing about this game, Rich.
Denied.
I mean, it's just now it's another shot.
Denied.
So they'll tap in. Did the job right there.
Bastards. That was a game.
Rich, 18
I
was
ain't
always
taking
considered a
responsibility
long
for that.
finishing hole.
Not for J.V. Holmes.
Yeah, the water was always in play. And then the day he took it over the left side and carried everything and went on to win, that completely
312.
changed the way this golf course played ever since that day.
And it resulted in some of the changes we're seeing now.
Yeah, evidence, the new bunkering down the left side, but it also, it showed us all how much and how strong these guys are, how much they've improved over the years.
Oh, that's out of bounds.
What was he thinking there?
Or no, maybe not.
I have
Maybe
no earthly idea.
That was totally the joystick. Which obviously I have to take responsibility for. But okay, so it's 170. We're definitely gonna have to lift it up.
You know, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. So
That's
the
all
second
right,
of the par
given the
4
fact of how
goes begging,
bad we
and
screwed up that
now we'll have to
drive,
rely on the
that's
short game.
Actually not
You
too
know,
bad.
but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here. Rich, that was some shot out of the rough. I really didn't think he could even get that on the ground.
Just to get it on the green, as you say, I think is a big win. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Wow, that hurt.
See that little hook
did.
on the thing?
Shot gone
If I
forever.
wouldn't have hooked it, if
So
I'd
a
hit
tough
that
way to
straight,
close
it
the
could've
round,
went
missing a short
That's
putt
right.
and a bogey here at 18.
in. Well, not
So
as
not
good
his
as
best
we would like
work.
it to be, but
He'll
shit,
walk
negative
away with a
7,
bogey.
man.
Frank, that was just a dazzling display of golf today.
It's amazing how a
Theoretically
game at
speaking,
times
we
it can
had
be
a
so hard
4
and just absolutely drive you crazy
rounds
can
like
appear to
this.
be so simple. This was just an absolute joy to watch today.
So that'll do it for Frank Nobilo and our entire team. I'm Rich Lerner. Until next time.